Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5, and if you read the title, this is a religion-based video. And if you don't believe in any religion, I encourage you to watch and be part of the conversation. And, um, you know, um, I've mentioned in past videos that I'm a Christian. I've mentioned that I pray to Him. I mentioned that, that this is my belief. But I haven't actually made a video talking about theology. Well, I referenced a theological um, discussion, but I haven't really made a dedicated video talking about a subject and about theology, philosophy, and what we believe. And this video is about: can a Christian use violence or potentially kill someone in self-defense or to defend others? Believe it or not, this is actually an issue. And if you watch the newest Rambo movie, which is relatively old, that this is a stereotype of the Christian, that they have to love everybody and that they can't kill. And in the Rambo movie, John Rambo takes a group of missionaries out into the jungle to render aid, and it's a missionary trip. So, anyways, the boat gets attacked by pirates, and the pirates board the ship, or the boat. It's a small boat in the jungle, and they see one of the female missionaries, and they want to rape her. They want to take her and do bad things to her. John Rambo, speaking the language, knows their intent, pulls out a gun and mows down all the pirates, kills them all. And anyways, also keep in mind, this is in the middle of the jungle. There is no police or anything like that. But anyways, the head missionary, there is a man, tells John Rambo, what you did was wrong. Killing is never the answer. I know you feel that you were doing right, but I'm going to have to report you when we get back from the jungle. And John Rambo says, basically, they would have raped her over and over again until she was dead. But that was that guy's point of view. And at the end of the video, he goes all Cain and bashes someone's skull in with a rock, which is ironic. He gets pushed to the edge where he actually breaks his own rule. But so it's a stereotype that Christians can't. They have to love everybody and can't use violence. And I'll be one of the first people to say that I believe you can love someone and still be violent to them. Let's just say, for example, you have a very good friend or a relative that is extremely drunk and they want to drive. I think that you can still beat them up, take their keys, and save their life, and still love them. And there's other examples similar to that, but I believe that you can use violence and still love someone. You don't want to use violence. You don't want to hurt them, but sometimes that is the only way to the only solution. So, anyways, back to the subject, and I kind of lost my train of thought. If I wanted to make this video really, really short, I would say read Luke 22:36, which states, and this is a commandment by God or by Jesus, who is God. But he commands his disciples. He says, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy a sword. This is a commandment. He says, you need swords. And I'm willing to believe if he's telling his followers to carry swords, then he expects them to know how and potentially use them. And that would make the video extremely short on the views on that. I could end the video now, and I think I would prove my point. But I don't want to leave it there. I want to discuss this. And anyways, let's do some thought experiments. I love thought experiments. And me and my brother came up with a few of them. And keep in mind, my brother is in seminary. He's a prison chaplain. He studies this stuff a lot more than me. But we still have theological discussions with each other, and I love them, and we both grow from them. But we had a discussion about this. Someone from the internet asked him about it, and then we had the discussion about it. And I think he was talking it over with me just to get more perspective before he answered this person. But we came up with some examples and some thought experiments that we think can argue our point of view. First thought experiment. There was an active shooter. He is mowing down people left and right. He has his back turned to you. You have the opportunity to take them out, or take him out, but you want to be a good Christian. What do? Do you love him and not do anything and let him continue killing people? Or do you actually take him out? And keep in mind, the act of you taking him out will prevent him from sinning further. Instead of sinning, 50 times, you narrowed the sin down to about 15, possibly. I'm just picking those numbers out of the hat. But you're preventing him from sinning further. And in my opinion, that is a good thing, to prevent people from sinning. Also, that's example number one. Example number two. Same situation. There's an active shooter. He's mowing down people. And you have the opportunity to take him out. And what do? You want to be a good Christian? You want to love everybody? Well, think about it like this. At one point, are you loving him so much that you're not loving everybody else? You're not loving the people being shot at. Another example of this is, what if you come across a man raping a woman and you want to be a good Christian and you're like, stop, don't rape her. And he continues raping her. At what point are you loving the man more than the woman? Are you not loving that woman anymore because you refuse to stop the rapist? And that's a couple examples. And back to the active shooter situation, or the active shooter thought experiment. Same example. There was an active shooter. He's mowing down people. He has his back turned to you. You have the opportunity to take him out, but you want to be a good Christian. You want to love everybody. Think of it like this. He is killing people. You do not know the people he's killing have been saved. You don't know if they heard the gospel. You don't know their spiritual status. And that can be very bad if they're unbelievers for them. And so by you taking out this one extremely evil person, you are creating survivors. And by creating these survivors, the survivors have the opportunity to hear the gospel. They have the opportunity to be saved and have a relationship with Jesus. And to me, that is a excellent point to make when people are questioning whether or not a Christian can use violence and potentially kill someone for self-defense or defense of others. And that is some of the main thought experiments that me and my brother came up with. Now, an example of a real life. Well, I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to give you just one. One is a little bit personal, and I'm not going to talk about it at this moment. But this is a true story. If you ever heard of Sergeant York, I don't know his full name, but he was a conscientious objector, I think, in World War One, and he did not believe in killing any human. He felt that killing a human was completely off the table. He did not believe in it. It was one of the ultimate sins. You do not kill people. He did not kill people, and he didn't believe in killing people for his country. But he was a crack shot. He was an excellent marksman because he was a hunter. He provided for his family by hunting, and he was an excellent shot. And the recruiter who was trying to recruit him was a Christian, and he was luckily a knowledgeable Christian. And he spoke with Sergeant York. I don't know his full name, but I'm going to call him Sergeant York because that's what the movie was called. And he ministered to him, told him that sometimes killing is required, and that you can still be a Christian and potentially do bad, horrible things. And Sergeant York changed his mind, joined the military, and his company was pinned down by machine gunners. And he snuck off around the back. I can't remember if he actually shot people, but he ended up taking a whole horde of Germans hostage. If you don't know much about Germans, they're very law and order. And when the top of the chain of command is taken out, the lower people don't know what to do. So he actually took a lot of Germans prisoner by himself, and he saved his platoon, and he was a war hero, and he did it. He was actually threatening them with violence, and I think he actually did shoot some people. But he he turned from a conscientious objector to someone who was actively in the military on the front lines. And although World War One sucked, I think he made the right decision. 10-minute video. Anyways, that is the talking points I want to give to you. I feel that you can be a Christian and you can use violence and you can potentially have to kill someone to save lives. I believe that it is biblically correct. I believe that it's the loving thing to do. If you love people, then save them from the few people who are intending to do harm. That's how I feel. That's how many of us feel. And that's it. I'm Satsu5. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I'm Satsu5, and I'm out.